Hey, it's Shel Anderson. Just getting things set up here. You just give me a couple of minutes. I make sure everything is good on this end. Having a bit of technical difficulty. Just give me a moment. I don't even know if I'm on. I think we are live. See if I can get comments up. Okay, if you are here, say hello. See if I can get these comments going. Pam, Carol, are you out there? Okay, we are live. Awesome. Thanks, Pam. Hi, it's Shel Anderson from Shel's Creative Corner and Shel Anderson Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I would like to welcome you here tonight for our Facebook Live. And we are going to just play with a hodgepodge of different stamp sets. And we are just going to craft and chat. So I'm encouraging you to leave comments, ask questions, and we're just going to have fun with it. The first thing before I forget that I want to mention is that I have a list here of Stampin' blends that are recommended for different skin tones. I'm going to post this on my blog tomorrow, but I'm going to leave it here in the camera for you to be able to see this. It is light petal pink, dark petal pink, light crumb cake, dark crumb cake, light soft suede, dark soft suede, light cinnamon cider, dark cinnamon cider, ivory, and bronze. Like I said, that's going to be a good resource sheet for us, and I will post that on my blog tomorrow so that you guys can print it off and have it in your stash. Okay. The first thing we are going to do is I was puttering around in my craft room today cleaning things up, and I found the basket containing the items from the mystery stamping hour that I had to cancel because I was not feeling well. So we are going to do that card first. And the supplies that we're going to be using for this card are colored cardstock 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, colored cardstock 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, a 2-inch circle in that same colored cardstock, colored cardstock 1 inch by 5 inches, white cardstock 3 3/4 by 5, and white cardstock 1 3/4 inch circle. You're going to need some designer series paper that will coordinate, that is 3/4 inch by 5, some ribbon, some thread, some stick-on embellishments like pearls or sequins, Memento black ink, Stampin' blends, or Stays-On ink, or watercolor pencils, whatever you have that will color, and a stamp set that has small flowers or leaves or something to that effect. Okay. So first off, I am going to show you card that I made as a sample. Now this was some time ago, so this was before Thanksgiving and before Halloween. And this is the card that I made as a sample. And obviously Thanksgiving themed. And this one used the champagne rhinestones. And the Gather Together stamp set. I think I have that right here. I do. This Gather Together stamp set. I just used these pumpkins and masked them and colored them. And then I used this, I think it's wheat image. If you can see here, I just stamped it off and then stamped it faintly in the background of my greeting. So this is the card we are going to be making tonight. And tonight I'm going to be using Boho Indigo. And this is part of the Boho Indigo product medley. And our color palette for tonight is going to be Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, and Calypso Coral. A totally different color palette for me. And I've chosen, for my stick-on embellishments, I've chosen rhinestones. And I have all my cardstock cut and ready to go, as I'm sure some of you do. So, first off, I am going to grab my Tombow now, and I'm going to adhere this one right to the front of my standard card base. This is Misty Moonlight going on to Night of Navy. And I'm going to go slowly because I know some of you are working along with me. So while you get that on there, I am going to grab a card liner. Being attacked by paper in the background here. And I'm going to grab my mini paper trimmer, and I am going to trim this down so I can put it on the inside of my card. Alright. Actually, I'm going to take another little slice off of this. Alright, so this will go on the inside of my card like so. Alright, so now I am going to set that card base aside, and we are going to work on our white, or I've chosen vanilla for this one. And the reason I chose the vanilla is because this was not a white enough white. I'll show you what I meant. Here's a white cardstock, and you see how those flowers look yellow on the white? So I decided to go with the yellow, and now they look white and they pop. If that makes any sense. So we are simply going to glue our DSP strip onto our matte layer, and mine happens to be the fabulous Boho Indigo paper that comes with this product medley. And that is in the front of your catalog on page, find it here for you. Next page. On page 9, this is the suite here. It has stamps, DSP, dies, stickers, foils, ribbon, 2 rolls of ribbons, little tiny embellishment flowers. It's just beautiful. So if you're interested, that's where you'll find that. And I just wanted to find, if I could quickly find them, I'll show them to you. I'm digging through my embellishment blocks while you guys are catching up there. I thought I stuck them in here, perhaps not. There they are. Maybe we'll use some of those tonight, seeing as I'm doing. These are the little flowers that come in that kit. They have little seed beads in the middle that are wooden. They're really cute. Perhaps we'll use those on our, I was going to stamp flowers, but we can just as easily use those. We'll see when we get there. Okay, so this strip of DSP is going to go on our card here. I'm not going to glue it down right yet because I have some stamping to do and I need to make sure that I have good placement. I may have to rearrange a bit. And on my first card, this is the position that I put my greeting. However, that may have to change as well. So let me get rid of the garbage and we will pull in our foam mat, Stampin' Pierce mat. And we're just going to leave that laid out for a minute. And I have loaded up some blocks and I've actually made a mask and have that ready. And I have chosen this image and this greeting and this foliage, and I don't know whether I'm going to stamp flowers or whether I'm going to use those little ones. We'll see what we do. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to stamp my vase in Misty Moonlight down at the bottom of my card. And if you do not have this stamp, you can choose whatever image for the stamps that you're using and stamp it onto your card front. Just make sure that you stay towards the bottom. And I'm just going to hold that a second and let the ink soak into that paper. Beautiful. And I'm just going to clean this stamp off to the side here. All right, now as you see, we have this great big bunch of leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip this mask over here, which should allow me, there we go, which should allow me to stamp it down just a titch so I don't have it so high, if you know what I'm saying. Are you girls with me? Anybody who's stamping? I'm not going too fast. No comment. They're hard at work. Okay, so now I am inking up my foliage, and I'm gonna move this down just for a moment. I know I might be out of the camera a little bit. I'll try to keep my head out of it. Crossing my fingers. Perfect. All right. Now I'm going to remove that mask and put it in the stamp case. Actually, I can reuse that. All right, we're going to close up this ink pad so I don't get it all over. And I have one more thing to stamp, and that's my greeting. So I'm just going to slide this off to the side, and I am going to pull in, yeah, I think I'm going to do, I guess I have to make a decision. I'm going to pull this back in, and you guys can help me make a decision. Hi, Darlene. Glad to see you. Carol. All right, so it's decision time, ladies. I need your help. I am going to pull out a few of these little flowers. My plan was that I was going to stamp my greeting in Calypso Coral, and I was going to stamp these larger flowers in Calypso Coral. So I'm going to place a few of these little babies around, and I want your opinion. I will put these back in the bag, and now I'm going to stamp one of those flowers just on a piece of scrap in the Calypso Coral, and you guys can help me decide whether I am going to. All right, I'm just going to lift this all up closer to the camera so you can get a good look. So my question to you is, do I use the little embellishment flowers with the beads on them that came with the kit, or do I stamp them in Calypso? If I stamp them in Calypso, that means my greeting goes in Calypso. If I stamp them, if I use these little embellishment flowers, my greeting will go in blue. What is your opinion? Calypso flowers or white flowers? What do you think, Darlene? Carol? What color flowers? Calypso, says Carol. Calypso, okay, Calypso it is. Oh, I just had an idea. Bear with me a moment. I wonder if we can color these little flowers. How's that for a thought? Only one way to find out is to try. Oops, I need the other end of this marker for sure. And I think I want the darker one. I am going to see if I can color these with a Stampin' Blend. I think we might be able to. Maybe that's too dark. We can color them. Oops, I need the other end of this one too. All right, I've colored half of this little flower with the light Calypso and half with the dark Calypso. I think I'm going to color those flowers. I like the fact that they're a little bit little. Actually, they're the same size. Okay, we're stamping our flowers. I'm making too much work for myself here, I do believe. All right. So, Calypso greeting it is. Where is my greeting? All right, we shall ink this up. Oh, Darlene says she likes the lighter flowers. Okay. sorry if I've got my head in the camera. Okay. I'm not sure if I like that too much. I'm going to clean the stamp. And guess what, ladies? There's another side to this cutout. I'm going to actually grab my cloth and give this a real good rub, and then I'm going to dry it off. Let's try this again, see if I can get a little better impression. That's better. All right. So I'm going to just layer this onto my Native Navy mat. I'm going to close up that ink pad. All right, now we get to put this card together. No, we don't. I have to stamp my flowers. Getting ahead of myself. All right. Aren't those pretty? One more down there. All right, now I think I can put it together. And we'll close this up again. And I am going to use my Tombow to put this on my card front. The DSP in this product medley is just phenomenal. It is gorgeous, gorgeous papers. All right. I am not going to put any ribbon on this card or any twine. I am going to let the DSP shine. There we go. Now if I had a dimensional or two on the back of my greeting, I could just pop that right up top. I'm going to try something. I like the lighter Stampin' blend because it almost makes the flower look textured, because a little bit of the white felt still shows through. I'm going to try coloring this, and then I'm just going to lay it on the card front and see. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that on there just as a little embellishment. I'm just going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and a glue dot. Well, the glue dot is on my finger, not on the embellishment. There we go. All right, I'm going to grab a couple of rhinestones just to bling it up a bit. There we go. I think that will do it, ladies. There is our completed card, and there is the one that I made as a sample with the Gather Together set. Same exact card, two different stamp sets, different colors. So that is our card number 1 for tonight. And if you give me a minute, I am going to clean up the mess that I made in such a short time. And we will start with something else. I just need to have a little bit of room. Anybody who knows, has been to my place, knows how small my craft space is. So I have to put stuff away in between, or I'm in a space about this big. All right. I did have a little flower a minute ago, and now it's gone. There it is. Okay. I just put my stamps away and we're good. There we go. All right. So, when I was thinking of what other cards we were going to do tonight, I had pulled 2 stamp sets that I've never even inked before. One is called Touched My Heart, and the other is called 4 Season Floral. And also I found a card kit. I'm not even going to turn that over to let you know what it is. From many moons ago, and it does have some stamped and die cut images in it. So I am going to let you choose what the next one we do. Are we going to go retro and make this card kit, or are we going to choose one of these 2 stamp sets? So I will let you guys choose. Just enter in the comments what you would like to see. And I know there's a little bit of a delay here, so I'm going to jibber jabber in between. Carol says go retro. Darlene, do you have an opinion? Pam? Pam says 4 Season. And Darlene. Okay, I guess the next one is going to be retro. This isn't going to take long, ladies, and I know that at least one of you watching has been in the class to make this card. And I don't have any instructions. All I have is the kit. So we are going to wing it. And I think there's actually 2 card kits in here. And there are. And it's Pacific Point standard card base. And this is very vanilla. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. And then we have the lovely hot air balloons. Does this take you back? I don't even know what catalog these were from. I have no idea. It was obviously many, many moons ago. And like I said, it was just hanging about here in my craft room. So I'm thinking that we need to zazazoo that up just a little bit. I am going to look through my embossing folders and see what I can come up with to add a little dimension to that background. Oh, wait. I have an idea. What would happen if we used the evergreen folder? Oh, let me put something behind here so you can see it. That's the one with the trees, and we put the balloons above it. I know it's not going to show up real great on this paper, but we could use a sponge and we could sponge. What do you think? Might be an idea. I think I'm going to try it. All right, let me get my big boss. I suppose I should clarify that. This is the new die cutting machine, and they call it the Stampin Cut and Emboss machine. And I love it. However, I get all tongue-tied when I get talking about this thing. So I just call this the Big Boss, because someday they're going to be coming out with a smaller version, and I'll call that the Little Boss. Okay, so my 3D embossing folder, I do not need the magnetic plate. I will need the 3D plate. So I'm going to do it this way. You think that's a great idea, Pam? Well, thank you. The only thing is I'm going to have to be careful as to where I put my folder, my paper in the folder. Sorry, I'm off camera there. I'm just trying to line this up because I need to have a fair bit of open space at the top in order to be able to put those balloons in there. All right. Nope, wrong plate. I need my regular plate. What is wrong? Oh my heavens. Not too smart, me. Yes, you just witnessed that on live video. There we go. Let's get this through here. Make sure it's still straight. I had my die cutting plate still in there. Didn't want to go through. All right, let me get this out of the way. And we will see how it turned out. You ready? Check that out. See all that beautiful texture? Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, throw that back there, and I am going to find a sponge. All right. Now, what color ink shall I use? Do I want Mossy Meadow? I think that's going to be a bit dark. I'm going to start with Old Olive, and if it's not dark enough, I'll work my way up. Yes, it's beautiful, Pam. I absolutely love it. It's very, very easy to crank that machine. You know what? I think I just did the wrong side of this cardstock. I'm going to flip it over. Yeah, I did. Alright, we'll try the right side. That looks better. It cranks very, very smoothly. All right. That's Old Olive. Do a little bit more down here. And I think I'm going to grab some Balmy Blue, if I can find it. And I'm going to use the other side of the sponge and do just a titch in the sky. Just to get rid of a little bit of the whiteness. There we go. Good enough. And let me clean off this work surface because I have ink everywhere. All right, here we go. Well, don't have enough adhesive here apparently. It doesn't want to stick. Maybe I'll just turn it over and give it a little back rub. Coax it along. There we have it. Now I'm going to bring in these beautiful balloons. And I think I'm going to put that one there because I have a little bit of a smudge that I was not too fond of. When we make a mistake, we embellish. And I am going to pop these balloons up on some dimensionals just to give it a little something something. And I think I'm going to put the greeting up on dimensionals as well. Convenient that the greeting was actually already stamped and in the bag. All right, take your pick tool and we'll get rid of these backs. All right, so I was going to share with you guys a little story of what's been going on. Most of you know, or some of you know, that a coworker of mine tested positive for COVID-19. So that kind of put us all in a tailspin, and I had to go for COVID testing last Thursday morning. And of course that was kind of scary, and I sat around and was in isolation waiting for test results. And I got my test results back Saturday night and I was clean, which was yay, hooray, great. There's our card, ladies. There's your retro card. All right, not too bad for an old retro kit. And unfortunately we still have some left, but that's okay. We can do something with that another time perhaps. Anyway, I got my test results back and I was a free woman, and I went back to work on Monday, which was yesterday. My days are all blending together. And found out I was the only one at work yesterday because everybody else was still off waiting for test results. And I'm on my way home from work yesterday, and I was just literally exhausted because I was the only one there trying to do the job of numerous people. I'm just going to pull these other cards in so we can have something to look at while we finish our little chat. And we're going to do one more card here tonight. Anyway, thanks, Pam. I was on my way home from work last night and my cell phone rang, and it was a Manitoba number, but I didn't recognize it. So I pulled over and I answered the phone, and it was Manitoba Health calling, saying that because I had been in direct contact with a coworker who had COVID-19, I had to go into isolation for 10 days from the last contact I had with them, which would be Saturday night at midnight. And I was like, almost unbelievable, because I had had a COVID test, and they said, well, due to the incubation period, no, you may still be able to have contacted it, so you have to go into isolation. Well, I was not a happy camper. Anyway, long story short, my cell phone rings this morning. It's Manitoba Health, and I have to go for another COVID test. So I did that this morning, and so I'm in lockdown until the weekend once again. Not a happy camper, but I guess better to be safe than sorry. That's my story. Okay, 4-season floral. This is from page 5 of the beginner brochure. So this one isn't even in. I don't have a beginner brochure back here. They're all at the front of the house. This one isn't even in the annual catalog, apparently. So if you're liking this stamp set, which is very cute, you should check out the beginner brochure. It says, for you, thank you, happy birthday. There's a Christmas poinsettia, some roses, some I don't know what's, and a daisy. Anybody know what these flowers are? Yeah, Darlene, it's a big hassle. And of course, there's always the financial part of it too. But it is what it is. I could be negative and I could be grumpy, but guess what? Life's too short for that. It is what it is. So that's what I have to deal with. All right, so we have the stamp set, ladies. I think Pam is the one that wanted to see this. So Pam, you get to choose the flower that I use. Poinsettia, roses, daisy, or these other things. Which flower shall I use? Hard decision, but Pam has to make it. Daisy it is. Daisy, daisy. All right, so now I need to choose cardstock. I am going to pull in, I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this. This is where I keep my quarter sheets, you know, or half sheets, when you cut off to make a card, you get 2 sheets out of a card. And I just have them sorted, not by Stampin' Up colors, but just by pink, red, orange, blue, turquoise, purple. That's just how I do it. And I won't lie to you, there's some here in the front that hasn't been filed yet. And there's a Mossy Meadow one right there. Why don't we use that one for the card base? And I also have another little bucket here that has quarter sheets in it. Let's see what color we can use to go with that. Oh, look at that. You seeing what I'm seeing? And, oh look, there's another one. And what else do we, oh, we even have some white. All right, I don't have to cut any full sheets tonight. We are going to go with this. And I also have a little box here of scrap. I'm going to look through here to see what I have this piece of foil that I embossed with the subtle embossing folder. I know it's probably hard on your eyes. And when I embossed it, the paper separated, if you can believe that, and it rolled right up in a ball. So I think that's going to probably be in there for a while. And this is just where I stash everything. But there's nothing in there sparkly that's catching my eye. But I do have this little tiny strip of gold foil that I cut the other night for something else. So we'll use that. And I think I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. I think I am going to cut this down to, let me turn this around so I can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 8 so that we're going to have a 4 by 4 card. And we'll just set that aside for a minute because I know we're going to be using it again. So I am going to use this Mossy Meadow 4 by 8 card base. All right, now that means this little piece here gets to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then this one, I think this is Bumblebee, can be 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. That was almost a mistake. By 3 1/2. Yes, we're going to make a little card, but even though it's little, we're going to layer it up really pretty. All right. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. That was 3 1/2, so this will be 3 1/4. Actually, I'm going to go 3. I'm going to be a rebel. Okay, there's my different layers. Somewhere under here I have a card base. We'll keep those scraps. I've got the gold. I think I might use some of that. And as per Pam's instruction, we are going with the daisy. Okay, let me grab the stamp. And I'm going to grab a greeting while I'm in here. I think I'll choose the happy birthday. So I'm going to have lots of time at home over the next few days, so you might see me on here more often than usual. If you happen to be bored and looking for something to do. All right, my stamps are loaded and I'm going to give them a quick wash to make sure there's no residue on there. And I'll give them a quick dry. All right, here we go. Let's bring in our Whisper White. And our daisy. I'm wondering if I want my daisy straight. Yeah, I do. I want my daisy straight. And I'm hoping I'm not going to regret this because I'm not using my Stamparatus, and you know my rule. But I'm going to try it. Not too shabby. Okay. Now for the greeting. Oops, upside down. Don't want to get my head in here, but I'm trying to get it straight. Not too shabby. All right. Now, let's grab some Stampin' Blends. I guess perhaps I'm going to need, let's just color. I'm going to color this daisy yellow. I was going to color the center yellow. Your daisy has just turned into a black-eyed Susan, Pam. And I will try to color this quickly so you're not too totally bored. What do you guys think of all those new COVID restrictions coming out that were announced today? I think, and this is just my opinion, that it should have been done long ago. The numbers here have just gone crazy. I don't know why they waited this long, to tell you the truth. I know it's a balancing act, trying to balance the economy and whatnot, but lives matter. You love the yellow. Good, Pam. I'm glad. And I'm not doing any shading. This is a really tiny image to color. I find when I'm doing small images, I'm just whacking the color on there because it's really hard for me to get any shading. My eyes are not the best to start with. So that is light mossy meadow and dark daffodil. And I'm going to try the bronze. We'll see what happens. I want a dark brown for the center of the flower. Oh, that's going to work nice. I'll bring that up close to the camera so you can see. All right, now we need to figure out what we're doing here. I think it's going to be a side opening card, but small. So I'm going to start putting my layers together here. All right. I'm not going to put that one on yet because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I'm actually going to grab my mini paper trimmer, if I can figure out where I put it, and I'm going to cut this layer down. I know, she's crazy. What is the woman doing? She just measured it all out. I have an idea. May not work out, but I have a little smudge here that I don't like to start with. And I have decided I would like to put some ribbon on here. So by cutting off that little edge, I think it's going to allow me to place this here. You see where I'm going here? And I can put my ribbon here. So now I need to find some ribbon. Do I want some of the mossy meadow twine, braided twine, I guess they call it braided trim. Or do I want some of the bumblebee, what's it called? Just bumblebee ribbon. Ha! It's one of the in colors. That's that one that's soft as butter. And I also have this one in bumblebee. I think this might look cool. Yes. Ha! Made that decision all on my own. Okay, I'm going to pop that out of the way. And I am going to measure out some ribbon here. All right, slide all this stuff out of my way for a minute. And I am going to grab some tape. Get it on the end of my ribbon. And yeah, I know it's cheating using tape, but it's easy. It's convenient. There we go. Now let's bring this back in here. Awesome, awesome. And this back in here. Okay, I am going to put this on dimensionals. And I'm going to catch the edge of that ribbon just for extra assurance. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and get all those paper backings off. Hi Bobby, thanks for joining us. All right. I'm going to pop this on here like so. And I am going to grab my Tombow. This one's going to go right flat because I want a little bit of wiggle room to get this in place. Just like so. Now I'm going to grab my bow maker and I am going to make a bow. I'm just thinking. I have some, this is Stampin' on the fly for sure. I was thinking, I guess this is maybe too narrow of a ribbon to do that. I was thinking I might be able to put a little bit of the baker's twine in with it, but I think we'll just go with the bow. Thank you, Bobby. All right, so now do I want a bow that's going to go inline? I don't think so. I think I want one that's going to be zhuzhed up a little bit. And there's my technical term again, zhuzh. Okay, a glue dot is in order. I found these glue dots in my craft room. Do you see the date on here? June 26, 2015. I think they're a little bit out of date. They're still sticky though, so that's a good thing. All right. Right like so. And there you have it, ladies. There is our card number 3. That one is with the 4-season floral. And card number 2. Oh, sorry. I guess this was card number 1 with the boho indigo. And this was our sample card with the gathered, can't even remember, gather together with the same layout. And then our retro rewind, and I can't even remember the name of the stamp set. I know it had coordinating dies with it, and then we just used the evergreen current embossing folder for our background. That's it for tonight, ladies. I will be back on Thursday night. Thursday night at 7 o'clock. I have no idea what I'm going to do then, but I will post and let you know. Thanks very much for joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Okay, bye-bye. You're welcome, Carol. You're welcome, Pam.